So hello everybody and welcome back to another video. This video feels a bit rushed because I'm running out of time this week to record this and to get a video released by by today, but I'm here. The good thing about YouTube is it does force you into a schedule. It does force you to be regular, but I'm very peed off because I've just seen a woman with 3 dogs paying no attention to her dogs, and I stood there. She walked off into the distance and watched her dog and then run off. So dog owners, I know 99.999% of you do that, but why not 100%? Come on. Anyway, that's my rant. I'm here in the forest. I've come to my local part of the forest. There's dog walkers everywhere, but there's also colour everywhere. I don't want to say too much colour, but it's really turned in the last week or two since I've been out. I didn't get out last week, unfortunately, but since then the colours have really turned, really gone orange and yellows. There's some green left, as you can probably see behind me, but there's plenty of orange, so we're gonna have a wander. I'm really looking for basic compositions today, the 3 elements that I think will make a decent photo, i.e. foreground and something leading to a main subject. So let's see what we can find. I'm not expecting to get hundreds of photos because I'm only out for about half an hour, because that's all the time I've got, but I'm out, so let's see what we can find. Right, I've been walking around not for very long, 10 minutes. The colours are just, look at the colours. Colours are just fantastic. It's amazing the way the forest goes at this time of year. I'm going to head down this path here, which is kind of moving away from the main colours, but I'm really looking for a lone colour, a colour that stands out amongst the other colours around it, and I'm hoping that if I head down where there's less obvious colours, I might find an isolated bush or tree or just something that's going to give me a nice colour pop on a darker green background. Let's have a look this way. Right, so I walked past this scene. Something caught my eye, but I wasn't quite convinced that it was a shot, and I'm still not. There's a tree here, a yellow tree, in between a couple of trunks. Now you can't see it properly on this camera, but rest assured you will in a minute when I take the shot. I'm not convinced about it, but I think if I walk past it and didn't shoot it, even if it just takes me 2 minutes, I might regret it just in case, so we're going to do that. I'm going to try and get a bit of foreground interest as well. There's some sort of heather, where are we, here, that I might be able to give some foreground interest to, and I'm not quite sure until I set up the shot how many of the tree trunks either side, like this one, and there's another one here that might be in the shot. Probably going to go quite a long lens. May even have to be the 200, I'll have a look. I don't think 100 is going to be enough to do what I want to do, but we'll see. So let's get this off and get that set up. Okay, so it's a 24 to 105 at the moment, but I think I may have to go lower, but also change to the 70 to 200 because I don't think that's quite going to reach. So we're going to get the 70 to 200 on. What that will do as well, which I'm probably going out of shot now, but I'm sure you can forgive me, is going to give it some nice compression. Hopefully get some nice blur, because the other thing I can do also is drop it to 2.8, because that other lens was just an f4. So if I can get a 200 on 2.8, it's probably going to give us some real nice background. Where's the lens lock there? Right. So yes, I am going to go a lot lower on this one. Let's shrink the tripod down. Right. So there are some nice colours here. There's a little bit of blur to the front right of the screen. So I'm just working hard to get it level. Right, let's go to a square crop, because I think that, now the question is here, do I do a focus stack? So we're switching to manual focus. I'm going to do one shot. I want my 2-second timer on, because there's no way I want to be knocking this at 200mm. So I'm going to do one shot on its own. And now I'm going to do a stacked shot. So I'm going to go to autofocus for this, and I am going to still zoom in, so we've got good focus on the foreground. Now there is next to no wind, but I am seeing a slight movement in the tree. But once I've merged the images, I reckon that would be good. So I'm not quite sure which one I'm going to put on the screen, but whichever one it is, here it is now. First shot in the bag, nothing special, but I didn't want to walk past it without grabbing it, just in case it turns into be a bit of a bust this morning and I don't get anything else. But yeah, that'll do for a starter. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to walk this way and round, head out to a big field that's over there, because I think there's a massive bank of golden trees. I wouldn't mind getting maybe a nice pano of that if I can find the right composition. But yeah, a bit of a walk and then circle back to the car. Okay, see, I was not worried, but wondering if this would happen. I've come around to the other side of where the last photo that I just took was, and there's now nothing in between me and that tree like there was on the other shot that you've just seen, but there's an old trunk of like a fallen trunk of a tree that's starting to rot, and it's been pecked out and eaten by, you know, termites or ants or whatever, wood lice, I don't know. And we've now got a foreground. We've got some colourless heather halfway, and we've got the tree with its yellow leaves. So I'm going to try one more composition this side and see if I can make anything of it. Right, so I'm moving back about 10 or 12 feet so that I can zoom in and compress this photo, so that will bring the tree in the background forward. If I do it from here, it's going to be all log, and the tree is going to be a tiny little speck in the distance. So it's on a very busy path, so excuse me if I don't talk too much, but I might take the shot, and then once there's a gap in the traffic, I will show you what I've done. Then I'm going to go to the trees on the corner where I can get this nice, hopefully, panorama. But let's get this one done first. Okay, got the shot. As predicted, a few people walked past, but it's average. I'm rushing them. I don't like doing this when there's people around. But let me show you quickly on the screen what I've got, show you my setup and my settings, and then I'll show you the final picture. It's a focus stack, 3 photos, foreground, third in, and subject in the distance. Like I say, I've gone back 20 yards, maybe, I don't know, 15, 20 feet, just so I could zoom in and get that subject a bit closer to the log at the front here. Let me show you on the screen what I've got, and then I'll pop the final photo up on the screen. So hopefully you can see it. So we have the log there, some heather in the middle there, colourless, but you know, just, it's not focusing, is it? There we go. So we've got the log, the heather, and then the subject in the background. And I hope it's going to look a whole lot better on the screen now than it does on the back of the camera. Let's move on. Right, so I've made it to the place that I wanted to go to. Now, this is what I'm going for. It's just a nice bank of trees that are just turning. I think most of them are probably in their richest colour they're going to be, the golden browns. And what I'm trying to do is get a nice 6x17 pano of that clump of trees with the sky above, which is grey and cloudy, which is fine, and the grass below, but mainly these golden trees. There's a couple of trees in there that aren't quite turned yet, which may add to the contrast, it may add to the colours, it may highlight how turned the other trees are. There is one major problem, and that is these power lines. Now, I'd rather be further back near the fence so that I'm not as close to the trees and I can zoom in and it looks more, rather than looking at the trees like that, it's more like that. But I don't really want to have to clone out the power lines. I will if I have to, but I've just come forward 50 yards. You might be able to hear the road behind you, which is a road that I drive along a lot, and that's what caught my eye as I looked through. I could see these colours and this band of orange. So I'm going to set up my other camera and I'm going to hope that I can compose it, get the tripod nice and level, because I am going to be obviously moving the camera, so I don't want a camera, if it's wonky, I could straighten the camera, but then as I move it, the whole thing is going to be twisted. So I want to make sure that the tripod is super level before I even put the camera on the tripod. So I'm going to set that up now. I reckon it'll be, not sure, not done many of these, 6 or 7 photos stitched together. I'll come back to you when I'm set up. Right, so we have the tripod super level, obviously portrait mode. I'm going to use the screen for this one, if I can see it correctly. Okay, so here's a problem I have. To get everything in, I need to zoom out, which isn't ideal. Because to get the tops of the trees in, if I don't zoom out, I need to tilt the camera, then it's not level through the sweep. So the fundamental thing is to get the tripod level, which is what I'm going to do, and then hopefully the crop will look okay. It should do on the R5. It's got enough megapixels. Even my R6, even this R6, 20 megapixels. So let's get the camera bang level. I'm going to go up slightly. So everything is on manual. I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to go on to manual focus. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3. There's 4. So it's only 4 shots. There's my hand, just to prove that I've got my sequence of images. And now what I am going to do is take one, because I've never stitched together a long line of trees like that before. So I am going to level up my tripod. It is level. I'm going to compose it as one image. But it's still focused, obviously, because you haven't moved anything. And that's it. Fingers crossed the pano works. If not, this one's quite nice. Once I've got it through Lightroom, I've boosted those colours, and you can really appreciate how gold. In the camera it looks a bit flat, but I'm sure that once I get that through Lightroom, I can boost the vibrance a little bit. It's going to look great. This, I think, is going to be the one I'm happy with the most. But you tell me in the comments below which one you think. I'm walking back to the car now. There is a pond I've seen that I'm going to have a real quick look at. It's 11 o'clock. I've really got to go because I've got things to do in the office, but maybe one more shot. If not, I'll see you in the car. Right, welcome back to the van. That did feel very, very rushed. Oh. So no chocolate digestives today. We are going for a cup of tea and a Kit Kat. I think the panoramic will be the best one if it comes out. I took a one shot of it as well in landscape mode, just in case in horizontal mode. In case the computer has trouble stitching all those tree shots together, I don't know. I've never done it before with that many trees. Other photos pretty average. It just felt really rushed. I'm here because YouTube told me to be here because I didn't have a video for this week, so I've come out really, really quickly to try and throw something together. But have I learned anything from it? Yeah, two things mainly. Don't come to a busy part of the forest where there's 100 dog walkers if you want to do video in and photography, because for someone that's self-conscious like me, it's not going to work. The second thing I've learned is that you can't rush these things. What am I doing this for? Am I doing this for YouTube, or am I doing it for me? And I've got to do it for me. So it may be that if it's rushed or nothing, it's nothing, because I'm not going to rush it. Anyway, that is the end of today's video. Please, if you've watched the whole thing, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment down below, ask me anything, give me advice, give me tips, give me good places to visit in the south of England for landscape photography. I'm in the New Forest, so I've got to find places around here. The colours are going, so we are going to start getting down to the winter, moody, maybe some black and white, maybe something a bit different, photographs. There's still probably another week or two. I'm going to try and dedicate a whole day. If I can work really hard and get my normal day-to-day stuff done, and then give myself a whole day just to bring out lunch, pick a part of the forest that I've never been to, wander around, come back to the van, have lunch, go back out again, then that is going to be what I want to do next week. So until then, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget, like, comment, share, subscribe, all the usual stuff, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks, guys.